Shalom, family. I want to share with you some things that the Most High has been sharing with me over the last 2 days, and in a dream that I had also. And I don't typically share dreams and visions and things that I have, but in this, everything that I'm sharing with you is for myself. However, I felt impressed upon me that it's not just for myself, that it's something that I need to share because it's for someone else as well. So first I want to share the dream I had and then the experience connected to the dream. And then I'm going to share, it's a couple of words that the Most High has put in my ruach and how to attach those words or whatever. So I had a dream, and in the dream, there's some things that happened before this portion that I'm going to share. But in the dream, the main portion was that I'm driving, and I'm getting ready to go up on a ramp. So before I go up there, I'm messing around with some kind of device in the car. I don't know if it was like a GPS or it's some type of device that I'm messing around with in the car. So I go up on this ramp, but I'm paying attention to the device that while I'm driving, I'm paying attention to this device. And so the ramp, you know how the ramp turned, okay? The ramp curved, okay? The ramp curved, but I'm not paying attention because I'm fooling with this device, and I go straight. I keep going. I just keep driving straight instead of curving with the path. So I keep going straight, and I don't even notice that I'm not that I've not on the path anymore. That I've keep going straight, and I'm in midair now, right? So so the interesting thing about this dream is that I am both in the car and then I'm outside the car. So I'm in the car when the car is going and it's the lane is curving and I'm supposed to curve with it, and I go straight, and I'm in the car as I'm going off, and I'm not noticing that anything is wrong until I look up and I'm like, where's the path? I'm in midair, and then it starts to the car starts to descend. And then but then I'm outside the car. So now I'm outside on the ground, and I'm watching this happen, as if it's happening to somebody else. So I'm watching this happen, and the car, I'm watching the car miss the curve and go straight. And I'm looking at it in midair, and I'm like, man, I hope I hope it can land still. Like maybe it'll just land and it'll be okay. It'll land, straight, and it'll be okay. So I watch the car, and it lands, it hits the ground, and the car splits in half, and you can kind of see legs coming out of the car, and then I wake up from that. Okay. So that has, different meanings to it for myself. And if you hear something in it, there's some obvious things in it, but then there's some different things in it. Okay, I had that dream, and so I'm out today, and I'm driving, and I go to the grocery store, right? So I'm at the grocery store. As I'm leaving the grocery store, I had a thought to call one of my sisters to talk to her while I'm, driving to my next destination, because it was going to be, a drive long enough to just talk. And so as I'm driving to my next destination, I'm leaving the store, and I'm like, so I had a thought to call, and I'm like, but then I stopped and I asked the Most High, I'm like, should I call right now? And then because I'm contemplating on this dream while I'm out, I'm like, I don't think I want to call. I think I want to pay attention. I just want to pay attention while I'm driving out today. Like, make sure I'm paying extra attention. I'm always paying attention, but I'm just going to make sure I'm paying extra attention. So I'm not going to call right now until I get to my destination maybe. And so I pull out the store, and I'm at the light, and I'm in it's 2 lanes. I'm in the left lane, and the left lane can either go straight or it can turn. So and thinking about the dream, I'm like, man, I don't want to. If you turn, so it's 2 ways I could have got to my destination. So if I would have, turning would have put me on to get on the ramp to get on the beltway. So I'm thinking about this dream, and I'm like, well, I don't want to get on the ramp, and I don't want to get on the beltway. I'm not going to do the turn. I'm going to go straight and go the street way. So as the light turns, I instead of curving, I go straight, and there's the car that's in my right lane. Maybe he thought that I was going to turn, but he just I can tell, I can sense that the car is going to come into my lane. Like, he's next to me, but I just sensed that he was going to come into my lane. I was like, I don't know that I feel like he does not see me and he's going to come into my lane. It was a pickup truck. And so, and sure enough, like, I watch him and I see him starting to swerve, and I hit my brakes to, to give him space. And sure enough, he comes right into my lane as if my car is not even there. So I was kind of like, whoa. On one hand, it was like, the dream made me be attentive in that moment. And it was like similar to the dream. Like, I didn't go the way of the curve. I went straight and almost got to an accident. And in the dream, I, was supposed to follow the curve, but I went straight and got to, drove off into an accident. So, that was my, I was just like, whoa. But I don't believe that was the meaning of the dream. But it was like an exclamation point. It was like sometimes the Most High will say something twice, right? He'll say something and then he'll say it again. And that means like exclamation point. Like, I'm like, pay attention to what I'm telling you. Like, the dream is saying what it's saying. And now I'm giving you a real life example of what I'm saying. So it wasn't that was the reason for the dream, but it stamped it. It further confirmed it. And because it put me in a place of attentiveness. So the overall word for all of this is intense. So the Most High is saying that he's saying this to me and whoever else has an ear to hear, that this may be applied to them. Intense. This next whatever, whether it's season, I don't want to define it. He just said intense. So either this next season, this next point in time, this next place, whatever, however long next may be, it is an entering into a space of intensity, right? So he said in this season or this place or whatever is going to be intense. So you have to be intensely attentive, okay, to your while you're in your surroundings. Be intensely attentive to the soft promptings of the Ruach, of the Spirit, the first time. Be intensely attentive to the soft promptings of the Ruach the first time. Okay, and it's going to be very soft, the promptings. You have to be obedient and respond the first time. No second guessing or delaying. Okay, keep your eyes open and your ears attentive. Okay, and your heart has to be receptive. Okay, your heart has to be receptive, because you can't hear if your heart is clogged. If there's a barrier, if there's something that's going to cause you to not immediately hear and respond. So because of that, and your heart has to be receptive, so that means that you have to be intensely repentant, meaning making it a point to keep your heart clean at all times. And at the moment that you feel something entering into your heart, turning back right at that moment, making the inward turn to repent and to be forgiven and cleansed, and to forgive and whatever the case may be, but cleanse that from your heart, pouring yourself out to the Most High immediately to keep anything from taking root within your heart, right? So your heart has to be receptive, and you have to be intensely repentive for this place that you're in right now. Okay. If you're not paying attention, you're going to keep going straight when the path the Most High has you on requires you to bend. Okay, if you're not paying attention, you're going to keep going straight. Straight could mean a lot of things. It could represent pride. It could represent rebellion, disobedience. It could represent ignorance. It could represent a lot of things. So, but you're going to keep going straight when the path the Most High has you on, whatever this place is that you're in, requires you to bend. It requires you to bend. It requires you to bend, to go with the path, to bend. Okay? And you won't realize it. You won't even realize it. You're going to keep going straight. You're going to keep in your pride. You're going to keep on in your thought pattern. You're going to keep on your way. Okay? You're not even going to realize it, and you're just going to be out in a place, and then you're going to crash. You're going to hit something. You're going to hit the ground, and you're going to break. And it's either, it's going to break, you know, your pride is going to break your understanding. There's going to be a break. Okay. So yeah, so intense is the place that we're in, and it requires you to first of all be intensely attentive. Intensely attentive. All right, the second thing is patience. Okay, patient. You have to slow down and be intensely patient and diligent over the details. Okay, you have to be patient, slow down, and be intensely patient and diligent over details in this place of intensity right now. You have to pay attention to details. It requires you to pay attention to slow down. It requires you to slow down, and it requires you to have patience over your being, over your words, over your whole entire being. And I was writing something earlier today. It was something that I repetitively write, and I wrote it. I wrote it down, and after I wrote it, the Most High told me to discard it and write it again and slow down and take your time. So I got rid of that. I got my paper out and rewrote what I was writing, and I slowed down. And I hadn't discarded yet. The Most High told me to to look at the one that I did first and to look at this one. And of course, the one I wrote first, the handwriting was a little, was kind of all over the place a little bit. It was, and the second one, of course, was neat, and he said that, he asked me, when you look at the first one, what does that communicate to you? When I look at it, it communicates, being rushed, not being attentive, kind of, it communicated one thing. But when I looked at when I wrote the second time, it was, he said, what does that communicate to you? It communicated, peace, intention, calmness, attention and intention, right? So it communicated something different. Just in slowing down, something different was communicated in looking at what was written. So the person who will see it would receive a different message based off of, how the attention that was taken or not taken, right? So he says that the effect of the message that you communicate is going to be determined by your patience and your diligence. The impact and the effect of the message that you communicate is going to be determined by your patience and your diligence and your intention. So not just your words, but your whole essence. So we have to be attentive, not just with our words, also with our whole being. Because when we're communicating something, it could be your tone, it could be your the words that you choose, it could be the timing that you choose, whatever the case may be, whatever this is communicating to you. But the message is to have patience, to slow down, and to be intensely patient and diligent over the details in this place right now. And whatever you are communicating, the way that it's going to be received is going to be determined by your patience and your diligence. And that's going to have to come from within your spirit and in your actions, right? So that's the second thing. We have attentiveness, then we have patience. All right. And the last word is passionate. Okay. You shall love the Most High, your power, with all your heart, mind, and strength. Okay, the Most High wants his passion back. He wants his passion back again. So the overall word is intense. You're going to have to match the intensity of this place that you're in with intensity in all three of these areas of attention, of patience, and passion. And that patience also goes towards in hearing, what is being communicated to you, either by the Most High and by the Spirit, or by people around you, or by anything around you. Because it's weird. I was out walking this morning, and I just was hearing sounds that I did not hear before, and the Most High has just in the last 2 days been communicating different things, and so pay attention, be patient in waiting and listening, in prayer. So the third word, the Most High wants your passion. He wants his passion back again, the passion towards him. He says he wants your passion back towards him, for your whole being to be involved, your whole being to be turned up. Your passion in your prayer, passion in your praise, passion in your outreach, and allowing his passion to pour into you as you pour out to others, allowing that passion to connect. Okay. He wants all of you to be fully engaged, all of your being to be fully engaged, like his fire is burning within you. Fire is intense. Fire is intense. So we're in an intense place, and it's going to require you to turn up and be intense in this place. Okay, so intense it could mean something. Intense doesn't mean good or bad, right? It just means turned up. Whatever it is, it's going to be turned up, and it requires you to turn up. It's as if you're in a loud environment, and if I'm listening to music, and I'm in a loud environment, B just flew by me. If I'm in an intense environment, or a loud environment, and music is really loud, and I'm trying to listen to something, I'm going to have to turn up what I'm trying to listen to hear it above the loudness that's around me. So whatever intensity is going on, we have to be matching that intensity with attentiveness, patience. That means because quietness is intense as well, right? Quietness is intense. So intensity may require you sometimes to have to yell over something. If you can't hear me, I have to yell over it. It requires you to get louder, but sometimes it requires you to be silent, right? Because if it's loud and I'm trying to hear something past the loudness, now I have to be silent. Now I have to be quiet because I'm trying to hear, right? So what we are communicating requires us to be quiet to hear the voice of Yah, so that we can communicate whatever it is, so that we can hear whatever it is. Whatever the case may be, it's requiring intense patience, quietness, diligence. It's requiring intense attentiveness, but then it's requiring intense passion regarding the Most High, turning that passion to the Most High. Because when we allow that fire to burn and to be turned up inside of us, and we are intense in pouring out to the Most High, then He's able to pour out to us. He's able to turn us and to bend us in the direction that we need to go into. But the Most High wants His passion back. He wants His passion back. He wants the fire to burn again. He wants the fire burning towards Him with focus and intention. So those are the three things. The overall thing is intensity. Then we had the three things, and within that is attentiveness, diligence, and attentiveness, patience, and passion. Okay? Attentiveness, patience, and passion. All right. So I'm not going to add anything else to that. Like I said, this was for me, but I felt impressed to share it for whoever else this may apply to. So let all of our ears be attentive and our eyes be open and our hearts be stirred up, and our spirits be calm, waiting, looking, and responding to the Most High Yah in His Spirit. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.